She tried to start fights regularly.
Will the landlord ever recover?
She called the police 7 times on me, terrorizing me. I'm scared. I'm shaking. I need therapy after dealing with this female. I didn't do anything wrong.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop.
Whatever you say, Judge Judy.
This is Judge Judy. 23-year-old Sarah Rolak is suing her former landlord, Anna Belacqua, for the return of rent and security deposit, an illegal eviction, and assault.
Judge, this is case number 91 on the calendar, the matter of Rolak versus Belacqua. Parties have been sworn in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Rolak, you rented a room from the defendant over a year ago.
Correct.
And you moved out of that room because of what you allege was harassment, whatever, but that was over a year ago.
Correct.
And your lawsuit has several components. One is some rent return, one is for your security deposit. A lot of it has to do with this terrorizing that each of you claim the other is responsible for, which I assume that you've gone on leading your life, Ms. Rolak?
Correct.
I assume you've gone on leading your life for the last year and a half, other than the pandemic,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you have a place to live?
Yes.
And you are not engaged in serious therapy after you left her house?
No.
No. So let's deal with the easy bread and butter part of your lawsuit, which is the return of your security deposit. Okay?
Okay.
Great. You moved into the room when?
April of 2019.
And how much was the rent?
Rent was originally $1,190, and then after the first month, since the Wi-Fi did not work, she allowed me to...
Don't go. But listen to me. Don't want to hear about the Wi-Fi not working. Not important with regard to your security deposit.
Right.
Did the rent ever change from $1,119?
Yes, it did.
No,
It did.
190.
I don't speak until I speak to you. You understand each other?
Yes. Yes,
Perfect.
Your Honor.
Perfect. Did it remain $1,119?
No, it did not.
When did it change?
That first month in April, after the first 2 weeks, I let Anna know that the Wi-Fi wasn't working,
Okay.
which is why it went to $1,160 afterwards.
1,160.
60. Yes.
60.
Yes.
Did you pay April's rent?
Yes.
Did you pay May's rent?
Yes.
Did you pay June's rent?
Yes.
Did you pay July's rent?
Yes.
You moved out on August 21st,
Correct.
according to your papers. Now I'm talking to you. Did Miss Rolak pay her rent in April?
She paid 1190, so yes.
Did she pay rent in May?
She did, however, she was $30 short on
She paid
each following month.
$1,160.
Correct. That's
Just a sec.
$30 short of the amount she agreed to pay at move-in.
Look at my direction. You accepted her rent in May of $1,160. Did you accept that rent? That's either a yes or a no.
Yes.
Did you pay by check or cash?
I paid via Venmo app.
I have the receipt.
Venmo.
Yeah, it's like cash.
So you accepted it. You didn't return it to her. That's a yes.
Yes.
In June, did you accept her rent of $1,160?
Yes.
In July, did you accept her rent?
Yes.
In August, did you accept her rent?
Yes.
Did you have a written lease?
Yes. It was partially
For how
typed out. I'd have to double check on the dates for the lease agreement, but I know I did end it early due to what was happening.
Do you have a copy of the lease easily accessible?
Yes.
May I see it, please? Okay, very good. 4 to 6 months. All right, nobody signs a lease from 4 to 6 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She was there for the 5 months anyway. Okay, that's it. I don't have to see any more. Very good. Now, did you pay a security deposit?
I gave her cash, yes.
I don't have any proof of that.
I didn't ask you whether he had proof, and you interrupted again.
Excuse me.
Did you give her security deposit?
I gave her $800 cash for the security deposit.
When?
I think it was like March 28th. It was a few days before I moved in. We sat down and I gave her the cash for the lease.
But the rent you paid by this app.
Correct, yes.
Tell me why.
It was just easier for me because I got, the weekly checks, and I don't like to carry cash around with me. It seems kind of silly, but I just rather pay via Venmo.
Okay. When you moved in April, did you pay her first and last month's rent, or just first month's rent and security?
Just the first month in security.
Now, let's be very careful in your response to me. Understand?
Yes.
Is what you're telling me that she did not pay you security?
No, I'm saying I
That's-
don't have a receipt for it. I don't have any
okay.
record that it was received.
Well, just a second. Well, memory and a receipt are two different things. If you have no receipt, that's one thing. If you don't have to rely on her memory of it.
I would let no one move in without paying deposit.
So it's fair to say that she paid security.
Assumedly so, yes.
Yes, of course. Okay, now we have you paying your rent, the rent being accepted for a 5-month period. You moved out, you had an altercation with her, which you will maybe tell me, maybe not. I would like you, because now the ball is in your court, for you to show me any damage that she caused that ate up her security, which clearly you didn't give back to her.
Your Honor, the damages of the room were minimal. I just had to clean it and replace the shades, etc. The place looked fine.
So that there were no damages. So then why didn't you return her security?
Because she tried to engage myself and the other person who lived there into altercation. She tried to start fights regularly. And also the French girl who lived there complained about her. She's a surly, unpleasant person. She made the environment negative. As a result, after 4 months, I asked her to leave. I gave her a 30-day notice. The day after I gave her me in the altercation by shouting insults at me and then putting her phone 6 inches from my face and filming it. And then in the process, so she used that and accused me of hitting her when in fact she had thrown her phone to the ground. After that, she called the police 7 times on me to my house, terrorizing me in my home. As a result, I have post-traumatic stress. I'm scared. I'm shaking. I need therapy after dealing with this female. I'm
going to stop you right there.
And Your Honor,
I
did return $264. After she lost her job, she continued using her time to call my landlords, terrorize the city, complain about the house, get fees accrued for the house. She tried to get me in trouble with the police on multiple occasions. I didn't do anything
it's time
wrong.
To stop. It's time to stop.
Okay.
Did she return $264 of the security to you?
Yes, she did.
So the answer is she returned $264 of the security to you.
Correct. Yes.
Which means that there is still due and owing on the security $536.
Correct.
How else to myself regarding city fees?
No, she is not.
Okay.
No, she's not.
Whatever you say,
No,
Judge
she's
Judy.
not. Yeah, she's not. Ms. Balakwa, I think that you are under certain stressors, as we all are. It's a very stressful time in the country and the world. I don't want to exacerbate your stress.
Thank you.
So I don't think that it's necessary for me to go in much further to ensure that you get the remainder of your security deposit back, which is $536.
What about terrorizing me, calling the police on me? It was 7 times in my home,
Ms.
having them
Balakwa.
bang on my doors and windows. That's
Ms.
what she
Balakwa,
did to me. She's a Karen.
What I'm going to tell you is, in order to go into what you allege is how she terrorized you, certainly later on, because you accepted her rent, April, May, June, July.
It was after the
You
fact.
accepted her rent. Just a second. You
Correct.
accepted her rent. You didn't move to evict her. I think it's in your best interest to not go into, as you say, it's caused you a lot of stress. You're in therapy. You have issues.
Excuse me, Judge Judy. I did not say
That's
I
what
was
you
in
just said.
therapy and that I have issues, okay?
you
This girl
well, you
terrorized
say
me
you
in
were-
my home, and so I have issues, okay?
Well, just a second. You told me you have issues as a
No,
result
I'm
of
telling
it.
you that she harassed and terrorized me in my home.
Okay. That's why you asked her to leave. And she
Correct.
left. And you have to return her security deposit, $536. And if, as a result of this, that happened a year and a half ago, what you're telling me is that you have no after effect of that.
That's false. In fact, for the past year
Well, just
and a
a
half,
second.
she
Well,
has
if you do,
terrorized
then I'm
me with
telling you, then
legal pursuits, Your Honor. This is terrorism.
Just a second.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
How long have you and the defendant been an item?
How long have me and him been a who?
How long have you and the defendant? She would be the defendant.
Sarah Rolak claims former landlord Anna Belacqua owes for the return of rent and security deposit, an illegal eviction, and an assault. Anna is countersuing for unpaid rent, harassment, and a false restraining order.
When was the last time the plaintiff filed a case against you other than this case?
There
Give
were
me the month
multiple
and year.
attempted restraining
No,
orders.
I answer my question. I said, other than this case, when was the last time the plaintiff filed a legal proceeding against you, month and year?
I think it's April of 2020. It's all the same case,
Was
Judge
that-
Judy. It's this case.
Is it for the return of her security?
Yes.
Well, then that's what she's getting. Judgment for the plaintiff, $536. The case is over. Thank you. We're finished.
Judge
Parties
Judy.
are, this case is concluded. Parties are excused.
She is evil. She tried to engage me in fights,
Because she assaulted me.
and she called the police on me 7 times like a freaking Karen.
I was using the washer and dryer, which she claimed wasn't included, and
In retaliation for me asking her to move.
she came over and I did start recording her, and then she hit me and knocked the phone out of my hand.
You know, a lot of people, when they're rejected, they act viciously, and she is that person.
I did get a temporary restraining order, and I moved out.
She is a vicious Karen with no soul.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hunter versus Cassell. Step forward.
19-year-old Tyler Hunter is suing his former landlord-to-be, LaTownsend Cassell, for the return of rent and for damage to his property.
Miss Cassell, you were renting a room. You both agree he gave you a deposit. That didn't work out. He wants his deposit back. That's what the case is about. So I have a couple of questions for you. I want you to tell me what kind of premises you live in.
I live in a 2-bedroom townhome.
Do you own or rent?
I'm renting.
How long have you rented there?
Been about 3 months now.
When you rented the apartment from the landlord, did you have a signed lease?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a copy of your lease?
I do not.
Why not?
I just didn't think to bring it.
When you rented the apartment and you signed the lease, did you sign the lease alone?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you advise the landlord that you would be living there alone?
Yes, ma'am.
So your lease precludes you from subletting rooms in the apartment?
I didn't read
Yes.
it, but yes, ma'am.
It does.
Yes. Okay.
Because most leases, when you have a lease, said that you will be the only occupant of the apartment if you're going to be in the apartment by yourself, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And despite that, how did you advertise to rent this room?
On Craigslist.
So you knew you were breaching your lease when you did that. Now, when you advertised on Craigslist, the plaintiff came to look at the room.
Yes, ma'am.
When the plaintiff came to look at your room, someone else was in the room. I want you to tell me the name of the person who was in the room.
Excuse me?
When he saw the room, there was someone else in the room. Who are you?
A boyfriend.
Let's start out with who was in the apartment other than yourself?
My boyfriend's brother.
What was he doing there?
Spending a week or two?
How much money did he give you?
Nothing.
How much money did you give her?
I gave her $300 for the deposit and $360 for the first month's rent.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about Tyler? Yeah, he gave me $300. He didn't give
He
me
gave you
$360.
$300 deposit and $360.
No, $300 for the deposit. He didn't give me $360.
I did give her $360.
Show me.
I have a signed agreement right here.
Stand up. I have questions for you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You gave her the deposit on when?
April 21st.
Well, why would you show me something where you withdrew $350 on April 10th?
Well,
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tyler Hunter says former landlord-to-be, LaTownsend Cassell, owes for the return of rent and for damage to his property.
Now, tell me your last name, please.
Greer,
How old are you?
26.
What do you do?
A distributor at Target.
How long have you and the defendant been an item?
How long have me and him been a who?
She would be the defendant.
How long I been with her?
Yes.
Oh, for like going on 2 years now.
Who do you live with?
I live in Commerce, but I come back and forth to go to her house.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you're not on the lease either, right?
No, ma'am.
Sit. Show me that you gave her $660.
Well, this was the signed agreement with her signature where she agreed that I would give her the deposit of $300 and I'll pay $360 per month.
He didn't pay it.
Shh. She agrees you gave her $300, but not the $360.
Exactly.
I want to see where you gave her
Okay.
$360.
Well, I also have bank statements showing where I withdrew money to give to her.
Just a second. I'm going to see everything he has. Because so far, despite the fact that it has not helped her at all, she's giving me pretty legitimate answers. All I want you to show me is your bank statement, and you got no receipt from her, I assume.
No, I have the signed agreement.
Which
So-
I signed when he gave me a deposit, but he didn't give me nothing to sign because he gave me no 360. And that's why he's not a resident there.
He's not a resident there because you can't have a resident there other than yourself.
Okay.
And you have him. He's still living there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you're breaching the lease. Got a whole bunch of people parading in and out of that premises.
Your Honor, she was actually there when I gave her the 360.
When you brought your stuff, it didn't have 360.
Listen to me. Don't speak.
Okay.
Well, you have a withdrawal. You saw the apartment on what date?
The exact date, I'm not sure of.
Well, think about it carefully.
Okay.
On what date did he see the apartment? Do you remember?
Approximately April 29th, I think, somewhere around that time. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure.
I gave her my deposit on the 21st.
Well, 21st.
So it would have had to been a little
You
before
gave
that.
her the deposit on when?
The April 21st.
Well, why would you show me something where you withdrew $350 on April 10th?
Well, I mean, I was...
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What else do you want?
the money for my mattress, which was ruined because Tylen set it outside.
Oh, good. You want to speak? I'm dying to hear it. Let's go.
Closed captioning sponsored by. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
$1 you get back. What else do you want?
I want my deposit back. I want my
What
money
else
back,
do you want?
And the money for my mattress, which was ruined because Tylen set it outside.
Oh, good. You want to speak? I'm dying to hear it. Let's go.
First of all,
Just a second. Did you put out his mattress?
Yes.
On
yes.
what date did you put out his mattress?
I don't know, ma'am. I seriously don't. But I didn't put his mattress out. He called me on the phone and asked me, because she wasn't there, he asked me to help him to get his stuff. He wanted his stuff out since he didn't move. He wasn't even strong enough to get it, so I helped him get it out. I helped him get his refrigerator out and his mattress. It never got ruined, because as soon as I took it out the house, it went onto the back of the truck.
Believe you. Sit down.
Exactly.
Believe you.
He
You
threw
get
it in
back
the
your
grass.
$300. Bye. That's all.
No, he-
Thank
Done.
you. Thank
Miss,
you.
she threw it in the grass.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge Judy.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
You were shut down because we had COVID. What are you charging her $3,000 for?
She didn't pay every single month.
Because we had COVID. You get where I'm going?
Judge Judy.
How can I show up? I was at work and I told him that I was at work.
They never returned my calls. They told me dates that weren't true.
That once I get off of work that I will go. Something came up, I left.
They never let me move in that day.
He goes to my house with his uncle, starting a riot. I don't have time for that. I gotta go.
I saw him pay her both the deposit and the rent,
That's a lie.
and we never got both back.
Everything he said was a lie.
Just find more trustworthy people, I guess.
Never again. Just never again.
We were arguing about the air conditioner.
A mother and son with control issues.
She was turning on the heat, and I turned on the air.
One of many fights. Police were called.
Then tempers boiled over.
She was like coming after me and getting in my face. I just picked up the frying pan for protection in case she attacked me.
You're not a tenant. You're a teenager with whom she had a fight and who picked up a frying pan.
This is Judge Judy. 19-year-old Justin Hodge is suing his mother, Christine Connell, for a broken phone, the return of property, moving costs, and an illegal eviction after they had a physical altercation.
Judge, all parties have been sworn in.
Mr. Hodge,
Yes.
what's your date of birth?
September 13th, 2001.
The defendant is your mother.
Yes.
According to your complaint, for the last 6 years,
Yeah.
you've been living full-time with your mother. Prior to that, you were living with an aunt.
Yeah. It's like...
Judge, pay attention to my question.
Yes, Honor.
Had you been living with your aunt since birth until you were 13, or on and off with your aunt until you were 13?
Basically, it's just like... since 3 years old.
Was your son living with your sister
Yes.
until he was 13?
Yes.
How come at 13, there must have been some reason for it, for which I don't have to get into it right now, but how come at age 13 you moved in with your mother?
It's because my aunt was moving to Louisiana, and she gave me a choice if I want to move to go to Louisiana or with my mom in Milwaukee, Oregon. And I decided to go with my mom.
Did you see your mother often when you were living with your aunt?
Yeah, it's like every weekend I had like overnight stays with her.
Was this, Miss Connell, a court-ordered arrangement that your son lived with your sister?
Yeah, she filed guardianship of him.
Is he your only child?
Yes.
So she took custody of your son when he was an infant?
Yeah.
With your consent, and you saw him on weekend?
Yeah, he was like 4
Go ahead.
months.
Okay. Your choice.
Yeah.
It is your claim, sir, that when you were 19, and that was September of this year,
Yes.
you and your mother had an altercation,
Yeah.
one of many fights,
Yes, Honor.
and police were called.
Yes.
It was suggested that you leave by the police,
Yeah.
and you left.
Yeah.
So you're suing your mother because you allege several things. That during the fight,
Yes, Honor.
she broke your phone,
Yeah.
and you're suing her for unlawful eviction.
Yes, Honor.
And in addition to unlawful eviction, your moving costs
Yes, Honor.
and other property. The main piece of property is a computer or some sort of a tablet.
Yes, Honor.
Your mother says that you took all your clothes, the phone you broke yourself, the computer is hers because she bought it, and I'm telling you now, a 19-year-old cannot be evicted from their mother's house. You can get thrown out if you have a fight.
Yes.
And the police can be called. But you're not a tenant.
Yes, Honor.
Because in September, you had no job. I assume you weren't paying rent.
No, that's not true.
You were paying rent in September.
Yeah, it's only my...
From what job?
Six Flags.
I thought you lost your job.
I was working there before, Honor, but then they...
I'm talking about in September.
Basically, I was working...
According to your complaint, you lost your job in March.
I got rehired because they were short of staff. They needed me back.
When?
Like September 15th, I got rehired.
Well, so between March and September, you weren't paying any rent.
No, that's true, Honor.
Okay, so if you were not paying any rent and you're living with your mother,
Yes.
then you're not a tenant.
Yes, Honor.
You're a teenager
Yes.
with whom she had a fight
Yes, Honor.
and who picked up a frying pan to defend himself.
Yes,
right?
Honor. Yes, Honor.
All right. Now, you had a fight with your mother and your phone was broken.
Yes.
Let's go back to who bought the phone. Who bought the phone?
My mom did.
When did she buy the phone?
I think it was July 5th.
That sounds very nice of her.
Yes.
Now, you want to tell me how it came about that she broke your phone in September? Tell me.
Basically, we were just arguing, then I was pretending...
Not basically. I don't want to hear basically.
Okay.
Just tell me what happened.
I was just, like, texting my aunt, texting my aunt to tell her I might be going down to stay with her, and she says, that's fine. Then she took it out of my hand and, like, threw it against the wall. It's not cracked, but it won't plug in. It will, like, go on and off without charging.
Where's your phone now?
It's in my pocket, Honor.
When's the last time you made a phone call with it?
Since September, but I've been using my aunt's and my friend's phone.
No. I'm asking you, why would you carry around a phone that doesn't work?
I was just going to Metro PCS and see if they can help me fix it.
Good.
Yes.
Tell me about this frying pan that you picked up.
Basically...
When you and your mother were having a fight. Not basically.
Okay. I was just, like, doing it for protection because she was, like, coming after me and getting in my face.
What was she saying to you?
She said to turn off... because we were arguing about the air conditioner, and she was turning on the heat, and I turned on the air because it goes around the house. apartment.
So you were arguing about the air conditioner
Yeah, then
in
she...
September.
Yeah. Yes, Honor.
And then?
She was coming after me, turning off the air. Then I just picked up the frying pan for protection in case she attacked me.
And what did you do with the frying pan?
Just like threw it on the ground on the hardwood floor.
Did you hit the floor with it?
Yes.
How many times did you hit the floor with it?
Probably just like a couple times. Probably like 4 times.
Couple is 2.
Yeah, 2 to
That's
4.
more than a couple.
Okay. Yes, Honor.
Did you cause any damage to the floor?
No.
Is that when your mother called the police?
No, the neighbors called the police, Honor.
Ah. Does anybody have a police report or no police report?
No, the police never did the report. I already tried to call the Concord police, and before, they never had a police report typed.
Okay, very good.
Basically, I just have evidence about the computer.
I'd like to first hear about the computer. What kind of a computer is it?
It was just basically like an extra computer screen, so I could just like...
Not a basically.
Okay.
What was it?
It was like a extra screen I can hook my laptop to, and I can watch movies on it. And it's when I turned it on, when I get to my aunt's house, it was like cracked.
So your mother gave it to you?
Basically, not the computer. It was
not basically.
Okay. Basically.
Not basically.
Sorry.
When you left, not.
Okay.
Hey. When you left, when the police told you to move.
Yes.
You took your clothes and you took your laptop.
I never took my laptop, but my laptop was in my...
How did you...
Basically, my laptop was in
your
my...
what?
In my filing cabinet in my old room, and I had my screen took my computer to, my aunt's computer.
Where is your laptop now?
My mom has it, she said, on her.
Okay. And when did you get it?
I never got it yet, on her.
No, when did you get it? When did you purchase it?
August. Sometime in August at Target.
Did you purchase it or did your mother?
Basically, okay. Okay.
What friend gave you cash for a computer?
My old friend from my old work I used to work at.
How much did this old friend whose name you're going to tell me give you?
Like $300 for the computer.
Did you buy it new?
Yes, and it was at Target in Walnut Creek.
What's the name of the friend who gave you $300 for a computer?
Devin.
Devin what?
Devin was his name, on her.
He's still alive, I assume.
Yes.
Do you still see him?
Yes, sometimes, but we usually get in arguments about stuff, but we're just taking a quick break talking to each other.
Since when?
Since the fight me and my mom had in September.
What did Devin have to do with the fight you and your mother had?
We were just like, he wasn't helping me out. He only picked me up, only, from my old house apartment.
Why didn't you take the laptop with you?
I was in the cops...
You took your clothes?
Yeah, the cops was rushing me out of the house.
You took your clothes?
Yes.
Most young people who were 19 would take their phone, their laptop, and throw in a couple of shirts.
Yes.
Now, so he picked you up from your mother's house after the fight.
Yes,
Devin.
Honor.
When did you stop talking to him? He's the one who gave you the $300 for the computer.
Yeah, probably like October, end of September, we were stopped talking for a little bit.
Ms. Connell, tell me about this laptop.
I'm the one that paid for it. Have it with me.
No, don't. You have the laptop with you?
Yeah.
Good. Tell me when you purchased it.
I purchased it in September.
Do you have your own computer?
Yes.
What kind do you have?
I have an HP.
And what kind did you purchase for your son?
I purchased the HP.
Where did you purchase it?
In Walmart.
Do you remember how much it was?
It was like $200.
So you have your own?
Yes.
And when you purchased it at Walmart, you gave it to your son?
Yes.
As a gift?
Yeah.
Then you have to give it back to him?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you have it with you.
Yep.
And Bird will make arrangements for the transfer of his laptop back to him.
Okay.
Got it?
That's fine.
Great.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your mother turns off the air conditioner in a house that she's paying for. That's a prerogative. You don't throw a fit and pick up a frying pan. If you're a teenager living at home, your mother owns the air that you breathe.
And later today,
we're going to go further if I'm not satisfied with the answer. Do you understand that I've been doing this here for 17 years? How old are you?
22.
That means when I started to be a star, you were still pooping in your pants.
Justin Hodge claims his mother, Christine Connell, broke his phone, stole his laptop, and illegally evicted him after they had a physical altercation.
Okay, you're going to get your laptop back, young man. Do you understand?
Yes.
You don't get moving costs. You don't get costs for wrongful eviction. You probably get to say, I'm sorry for all this stuff to your mother, because it sounds to me, based upon just what you told me, that she was trying to be nice to you.
Yes, Honor.
Yeah. Your mother turns off the air conditioner in a house that she's paying for. That's her prerogative.
Yes,
and
Honor.
if you're 19 and you want to go live with your aunt, that's terrific. Go live with somebody else. But you don't throw a fit and pick up a frying pan. If you're a teenager living at home, your mother owns the air that you breathe. We're going to make an order for the exchange of the laptop. Thank you very much. This case is over.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
My friend got it for me, not her.
He was suing me for nothing.
I don't know what's going to happen.
That we can get along and everything can be good.
Sorry, Mom.
Apology was accepted.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cooper versus Black, step forward.
Tracy Cooper is suing 22-year-old Jeff Black for stealing her exercise machine.
Before you answer the question, don't conjure up, don't machinate, don't ruminate. Just think about what I'm saying to you. Where is her exercise machine? Don't look there. Don't look there. Because whatever answer you give me, we're going to go further if I'm not satisfied with the answer. Do you understand me?
I do.
And do you understand that I've been doing this here for 17 years?
I do.
How old are you?
22.
22. That means when I started to be a star, you were still pooping in your pants. Do you understand me? Now, I'm asking you where her exercise machine is today. Look here. Answer the question.
Not in my possession.
That's not what I asked you. I said, where is it today? Don't look there. Where is the exercise machine today? Don't go.
I don't
when
know.
I'm finished making you look ridiculous, I'm going to start working on her. So just answer the question, where is her exercise machine today? Let's start with what state is it in? Why are you asking me with a question mark at the end of that? Is it in Oregon? Who are you?
I'm his fiance.
You're his fiance. Is he really an idiot? Is he really an idiot? Stand up. Your name?
Sarah.
Where's the exercise machine?
He sold it.
Where? Where?
To his friend.
His friend who?
I don't know.
First name?
Adam.
When? Don't look over there.
About a month ago.
Were you present at the sale?
Yes.
Where did it take place?
Our house.
How many times have you met Adam?
About 5.
When was the last time you saw Adam?
At the sale.
How did he get the exercise machine out of your house?
He had himself and a mover that works for him come and pick it up.
See how easy that was, idiot?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me. He's a hustler and a bum. You want to hitch your wagon to that star? You go right ahead and do it. I'm telling you, you look like a lovely young lady. Make any big mistakes. Big mistakes last you for a long time.
Real case of Cooper is accusing Jeff Black of stealing her exercise machine. Jeff claims Tracy abandoned it.
You see how easy that was? Now you can sit. When did you notify him that you wanted your exercise machine back?
April 15th, 2013.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a horse trainer.
What does he do?
He's a mover.
He's a bum. He's a bum. Listen to me. He's a hustler and a bum. I'm going to tell you why. Because I read his answer. And his answer said, she agreed to sell me the exercise machine for $500. That's if I believe him. She told him she wanted it back April 15th. He sold it, according to you, and you're not a liar, are you?
No.
A month ago, to somebody who we knew, to somebody who you knew. He couldn't give me those answers because he was trying to fool me. He was trying to figure out what to say so that I wouldn't find me. If you're an honest girl, he's not. He's dishonest. Now I want Adam's last name. I want Adam's last name.
I don't know his last name.
You're not as cocky as you were when you first came in, right?
Wasn't cocky at all.
Sure you were. All right, this is what Mr. Black to move you from one place to another. By the way, you have a company?
I do.
What's the name of your company?
This case was not regarding my company.
Well, you did move her, didn't you?
This was not involving my company because I did not receive any type of money for this. I did this by myself to help her out because she was going through a tough situation. She was.
Listen, you want to hitch your wagon to that star, you go right ahead and do it. I've been around the track a few times myself, and I'm telling you, what I see, what I hear, you look like a lovely young lady. Make any big mistakes. Big mistakes last you for a long time. When did you purchase the exercise machine?
I have the original receipt, August 16th, 2009.
Oh, stand up. We're going to ask you another question because I can't get a straight answer from him. When Adam purchased the exercise machine, when you were present for the transaction, how much did he sell the exercise machine for? Don't say you don't know.
$500.
Probably about what it's worth from 2009. Did you send her the $500?
Wasn't able to get a hold of her.
So the answer is?
No.
No.
Continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Anything else you want to tell me?
Judge Judy, I was hoping just to get the machine back.
Can't get the machine back.
Okay.
He sold it to somebody for $500.
Okay.
The person who he sold it to for $500 did not purchase a $5,000 piece of equipment for $500. He purchased an old exercise machine that some people paid to get rid of for somebody to take out of their house. But he paid $500 for it, which is probably a reasonable deal for that person. You clearly didn't want it at some point because you were willing to sell it to him. He says for $500. His problem is he's a scam artist. At some point, he was supposed to move you back. He said you can keep the exercise machine. I have no use for it anymore, as long as you move me from one place to another. When it came to move from that one place to another, according to you, he was nowhere to be found. So now he had your exercise machine that you told him he could have, and he wasn't moving you. So you spoke, you said, listen, you want to buy it? He says, I'll give you $500 for it. According to him, you said, fine. He sells it later for $500 and doesn't have anything else you don't want to say? Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy, a customer looking for a friend.
60 pages of text messages, a lot of emojis, and a lot of just personal things being shared with me.
Next Judge Judy.
I did this out of the kindness of my heart. I wasn't receiving any money for this.
The truth is that I wanted the machine back.
It was sitting in my possession for several months, and it came down to she wanted to sell it.
It is a $2,200 piece of equipment.
I sold it, and then she wanted the exercise machine back, and after I sold it, I can't give it back to you.
It's unfortunate that it did have to get this far.
I don't think that he's dishonest.
That's not true. He was operating under his company name.
I think that he was a little bit nervous in there.
When he did move me 2 times.
And that's maybe why he wasn't answering the questions so quickly.
Get everything in writing.
I think she was a little bit harsh. Yeah.
Happy to be done with it, and thank you again, Judge Judy.
An old
to fix this 35-year-old camper.
And I had to pay someone else money to fix those repairs.
But he has an age-old problem.
You're not entitled to $5,000, Mr. Pogner. You're not following the math.
But the body itself has not lasted.
Nobody's body lasts. Not yours, certainly not mine.
This is Judge Judy. John Progner is suing mechanic Miguel Ramos for performing shoddy work on his RV and leaving it incomplete.
Judge, this is case number 105 on the calendar in the matter of Progner versus Ramos. Both parties have been sworn in.
Mr. Progner, you are the owner of a 1985 Toyota camper.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you purchase this camper?
The year 2000 in Santa Cruz, California.
You purchased it when it was 5 years old.
No, it's in
how much did you
1985.
pay for it?
I paid $2,500.
You purchased it when it was 15 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
For $2,500. And you used it for 20 years.
Yes.
Sounds like you got your money's worth out of it.
I put a new motor in it when I first drove down here. I bought it from friends, and the new motor was in it, and the motors continued to last. But the body itself has not lasted.
Mr. Progner, nobody's body lasts. Not yours, certainly not mine. So you camper that you bought 20 years ago for $2,500, but you decided you wanted body work on it. In addition to being very old, it's also damaged by something falling on the roof. In any event, you found Mr. Ramos. He said he would fix the whole thing for $5,000. And you said, okay, and according to you, you paid him in July of this year $4,500 towards the $5,000 bill to fix this 35-year-old camper. So I would like to see proof of all of those payments.
Right here. Each one of these is a withdrawal from the Bank of America. I have text comments that are validating these as well that say, like, on the 11th of June, I will call you and I've got money for you. Can I bring it by tomorrow? Miguel responds back in the text on, yes, bring it by, and I've been by on the 12th to pay him. So each one of these is validated. I've met Miguel's neighbors. Miguel has been over to my brother's family's house for Christmas. He has met every member of my immediate family, Judge Judy, and everyone had the understanding Miguel was being paid to repair my camper.
Perform a miracle that you paid for.
Then why did you give me the price, Miguel? You're the one that dubbed the price.
Just a second. Don't talk to each other. I'm looking up what a 35-year-old camper.
In the past as well. So the 35-year-old camper has been maintained in certain aspects.
Yeah, fine. I'm not buying that thing. That thing doesn't show me checks. That thing shows me where you took money out of.
Okay, I've got a voice recording right here where I've called Miguel and saying, Miguel, I've got $1,000 or $500 for you. Can I come over and give it to you? Can I play that, ma'am?
Oh, sure. I could see that you might want to fix it for $500.
Hey, Miguel,
Absolutely.
how's it going, man? I hope it's okay with you. I want to give you $500 tomorrow. If that works for you, call me back or hit me back or whatever, and I'll meet up with you tomorrow and give you $500.
So I've got several of those, Judge Judy. I've got another one.
Just a second.
Okay.
I'd like to hear the rest of them.
Okay, I've got texts. That's the one voicemail that I've got saying that. But the other texts that I have, I've got them typed out right here, ma'am.
No, I want to see it on your phone.
Okay.
I don't want to see what you typed out.
Okay, let me find out what the date is then, and I'll bring that up for you then.
I've got $500. Maybe you'd want to spend $500 to fix it.
Miguel gave me a rate of $5,000, ma'am. He's the one that chose the price. He gave me the bid.
Mr. Progner, there is no way a normal person spends $5,000 on a camper that they paid $2,500 for 20 years ago that was 15 years old when they bought it. No way.
Those campers are selling for anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000. They're very, very expensive.
Fully restored.
Okay.
Here's the text here.
Mr. Progner, Mr. Progner.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Miguel, I have $1,000 for you to be around. Yes, definitely. I'll be here tomorrow. Got your floors done today. Mr. Progner, according to your complaint, he gave you a price of $5,000. Crazy as that may be for somebody to pay $5,000 to fix this relic of a camper that had been damaged. What you say in your complaint was you paid him $4,500 and you had to spend another $1,000 or $1,134. So at most you've spent $6,000, $4,500 to Miguel, and another, at most, $1,500 because you also say you have to rewire some broken lights that Miguel destroyed. Whether that's true or not, I'm speaking. At most, you spent $6,000. Is what you're telling me that the defendant did no work? Because you say yourself, when you went to pay him the $500 upon completion, and I'm not so sure I buy a whole story about $5,000 to fix it, I noticed questionable work and voiced my concerns. Miguel just claimed he wasn't finished yet.
Here's questionable work, brake light, and one turn signal, all split between both sides. I've got a vent right here that you can see light through.
Taillights.
You're not listening to what I said to you. He did work on your camper. At most, if I believe your complaint, it cost you an extra $1,000 And if you fix the taillight, an extra $440. So in total, you would have spent $6,000 to fix just a piece of that. $1,500
Judge Judy,
is for work
I paid Miguel
that he
to fix
didn't
my
do.
brakes.
No,
My
you did
brakes
not.
were the
You
main
did
thing
not.
that I came
You
here
did not
for. I
pay
got
for that.
towed home by my brakes
Nope.
because my brakes froze up in the camping trip.
You're not entitled to $5,000, Mr. Pogner. You're not following the math.
Judge
You
Judy,
paid
I
him
paid Miguel
$4,500.
$4,500 to fix my brakes, and I had to pay someone else money that I already paid to Miguel to fix those repairs.
The same you did with
Miguel
the-
has taken advantage of me, Judge Judy, and needs to pay.
You're not taking advantage of me, Mr. Pogner, because you're not paying
Progner
attention.
is my name, ma'am.
You made an agreement with him to fix your camper.
Yes.
As you said earlier, don't speak now. Now put on your listening ears. To fix the camper, both mechanically and cosmetically. And you were going to pay him $5,000, and that included the brakes. You paid him $4,500. You had to pay someone additionally $1,100 to fix the brakes. So now you've spent, instead of $5,000, you've spent $5,600. Then you say a taillight doesn't work because of something he wired wrong, and you have an estimate for $440. That brings the total to $6,000 to get your camper back the way you want it. That's according to your complaint. You're not entitled to $5,000 back.
My camper is ruined by Miguel, Judge Judy. The roof is ruined. Here's
Okay,
the roof
wait-
right here with big holes in it.
Okay.
Judge Judy was supposed to install an air conditioner for me.
A used
He was supposed to
3-year-old air
fix
conditioner.
He was supposed to fix the oil leaks in the motor.
No, I
My
wasn't.
brakes were the main
He
one.
paid $10,000
The oil
to
leaked
the
off
shop
of there.
twice to get
I
that
paid
motor.
$15 for an.
Just
I
a
paid
second. Say
$15 for the oil leak to repair in about 2 hours, Judge Judy. Miguel is a terrible person.
Yeah, I bet.
The way I met him was through Beth, his girlfriend. He had to get rid of Beth because she became too needy on him. He became a very aggressive person. Miguel does not pay his child support, Judge Judy. He's been hounded by Florida.
Yeah,
I've seen demand payments for
That's not
between
what we're
$800 and
here in court
$900 of all of this.
We're not
Miguel
here
is
for
not a
that.
nice person and
Progner.
has taken advantage of me, Judge Judy. And here's many validations
for that.
of this.
You want to show me a photograph of that you
Ma'am.
got back from Miguel?
Yes.
That you got back from him?
Here's my camper now sitting in the back of the yard at the break place where I can't drive it
Just
still.
don't listen to me, sir.
Yes,
I didn't
ma'am.
ask you to say anything. I said just show it to me. So now I see it. Now I'd like to see the camper when you brought it to Miguel.
I do not have a picture of what it looked like when I brought it to Miguel.
I have those, Your Honor.
May I see it, please?
This picture here shows where he had a store that was full of homeless. They ripped the door out from it. They partied inside. They used the toilet like 40 times. There was all
Just a
kinds
This
of...
is not the truth.
Can I-
Not the truth at all.
Here's
Not the
the-
truth at all.
If you interrupt one more time, I'm dismissing your case, Mr. Progner. Do you understand
Yes,
that?
ma'am.
Unless I'm asking you a question, if you interrupt again, I'm dismissing your case. We understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you have a photograph of the interior after you worked on it?
Yes.
Is that the inside of the camper?
And later today,
And she put my daughter on the couch with the tablet and the TV and went and took a nap.
I would like to know what a tablet is.
An iPad.
An iPad. Oh, I thought you some sort of a drug. Oh.
claims mechanic Miguel Ramos performed shoddy work on his RV, leaving it incomplete. He is asking for a refund of the money he paid.
Mr. Ramos, is that a photograph of his camper?
Yes, it is, Miss Judy. This is basically...
When he brought it into you?
Yes, yes.
No, not basically. Is that a picture of his camper?
Yes.
Do you have any other pictures?
I sure do. I have 4 more.
Is that the interior?
Yes, that's the interior. Removed completely all the flooring out of it.
Mr. Ramos, do you have a photograph of the interior after you worked on it?
I do, and...
Just show me the picture of the interior after you worked on it. Is that the inside of the camper?
Yes, that is...
After you worked on it?
Yes, it is, Miss Judy.
And now I'd like to see the photograph that the plaintiff just put up of the camper as it exists now after it was fixed by Mr. Ramos.
Beautiful.
Looks great. Your case is dismissed. We're done.
That's it. Thank you, Miss Judy. Thank you so much.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
Basically, I did what I was supposed to do.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
You should be happy what he got. He could go to the beach and hang out in it.
And that piece of whatever you want to call him just got walked out of here for free.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Scott versus Hastis.
Aunt is suing her former client, Stacy Hastis, for an unpaid daycare bill. Stacy claims Angela is a negligent provider, and she's not paying.
Ms. Scott, it is your claim that the defendant owes you 4 days of daycare services for her 2 children.
Yes.
And Ms. Hastis has a defense. Her defense is you shouldn't be entitled to any money for taking care of the 2 children because you neglected them. So, Ms. Hastis, on what date did you bring your 2 children to Ms. Scott?
I don't have an exact date.
On what date, Ms. Scott?
May 15th, 16th, and 30th.
You brought them on the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pay for them on the 15th?
No, I did not.
How much was the agreed price for the 15th?
They were there for 6.5 hours at $5.50 an hour for both children, so $35.75.
So you availed yourself of her service.
Yes.
On the 15th. You didn't pay for it.
I was told I could pay all at the end of the week.
But we're in court now, so now not what you were told. Now we're in court, and we're going to figure out how much you owe and how much you're going to pay. So on the 15th, you took your children, $35.75, and were satisfied sufficiently to bring them back on the 16th, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you brought them back on the 6th.
From 9:33 in the morning to 1:50 for a total of $23.50.
Now, there is a long gap between May 16th and May 30th. What happened, Ms. Hastis?
On the 15th, I brought them back. Everything seemed to be fine.
No, listen to me. I don't want to hear that you were not satisfied, that you had concerns about her care of the children or anything else about the 15th. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you were any sort of a mother, if you had sufficient concerns, you wouldn't have brought them back on the 16th, which you did. So you owe her $35.75 for the 15th. Now, having brought your children back on the 16th, I am asking you what happened between the 16th and the 30th, because you don't deny that you brought the children back on the 30th, which means if you were any sort of a mother, if you had legitimate concerns about the safety of your children, on the 16th, you wouldn't have brought them back on the 30th. So clearly, you owe for the 16th, which is $23.50. My question to you is, what happened to her caring for the children between the 16th and the 30th?
The 16th, my mother picked my kids up, and Miss Angela Scott brought my mom the wrong child.
Your Honor, she never mentioned that I neglected her.
She's paying for the steak she ate.
I shouldn't have to mention that. You take a nap. You don't get to take a nap while you watch kids.
I didn't take a nap while I watched kids.
My 5-year-old's in the back. You can talk to her.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Daycare provider Angela Scott says former client Stacy Hastis owes for an unpaid daycare bill. Stacy claims Angela doesn't deserve to be paid.
Now, what happened between the 16th and the 30th?
The 16th, my mother picked my kids up, and Miss Angela Scott brought my mom the wrong child.
Well, that would have suggested to me, as a normal mother, you, not your mother, you, normal mother, she brought my mother the wrong child. I may not, just a second, I'm not bringing my kids back there again. But you brought them back on the 30th.
Because I gave her the benefit of the doubt.
Just a second. That's fine. Just a second. You gave her the benefit of the doubt, so you owe the money for the 16th. Now, you gave her the benefit of the doubt, and despite the fact that your mother said, you know, she gave me the wrong kid, and despite the fact that you had other concerns about her care on the 15th and 16th, you brought your children back on the 30th. And how many hours were your children there on the 30th?
I'm not order.
How much?
It's right around $18.
Now, what happened on the 30th, Ms. Hastis? Because after the 30th, then you did not bring your children back there anymore.
Correct.
Correct? Okay. And you left your children there for 3 hours. Where did you go during those 3 hours?
I worked.
Okay, so far you owe for the 15th, you owe for the 16th. Now, you want to tell me why you don't owe for the 30th?
I don't owe her anything.
Oh, yes, you do. I just explained to you that you ate the steak. You went to the restaurant, you ate the steak. You didn't return the steak and say, I don't like the way this tastes. You ate it, and then you said, you know what? I've had better steak. I'm not paying for it. You ate the steak on the 15th, you ate the steak on the 16th, and you ate the steak enough so that you brought the kids back there on the 30th for another steak. Now, all I'm asking you is you do owe her for the 15th and 16th, so now you're going to explain to me why you think you don't owe her for the 30th. I've already ruled on the 15th and 16th because you ate the steak. Now, if you have some compelling reason, because you didn't bring your children back after the 30th, if you have some compelling reason why you think you should not pay for the 30th, that I'll hear you, but you are going to pay for the 2 days when you ate the steak. The 30th is what we're talking about. 30th.
I picked my daughter up, and as me, that Angie put the kids in bed, put my daughter on the couch with the tablet and the TV, and went and took a nap.
You're the one
I'm
who
not
brought...
paying anybody to neglect my children. If you don't watch the kids, you shouldn't get money for saying you watch the kids. And you, as a daycare, you don't go lay down and take a nap.
I would like to know what a tablet is.
An iPad.
An iPad. Oh, I thought you some sort of a drug. Oh.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Who takes care of your children now?
I do. I had to quit my job not being able to find proper care. And I didn't trust to leave them with anybody anymore. So I quit my job to stay home with my kids.
What's wrong with your mother?
My mother works.
I don't understand. She owes you $77.25. Why are you suing her for $787?
In my parent handbook, it's $5 a day late fees. She said she'd be there June 2nd with a check. So late fees started June 3rd when she didn't show up to pay me.
$77.25. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Thank you.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Your Honor, she never mentioned that I neglected her.
She's paying for the steak she ate.
I shouldn't have to mention that. You take a nap. You don't get to take a nap while you watch kids.
I didn't take a nap while I watched your kids.
My five.
And you too. If your daughter said after she had a conversation with you, my mother told me I was given the wrong child at daycare, and therefore this is not the kind of place that I want for my children to be cared for. I'm speaking. Try putting on your listening ears. Then I would say, fine, I may listen to that. But she ate the steak, and not only did she eat the steak, but she brought the children back on the 30th. And I don't care what the reason was, whether the reason was she had to go to work. What?
She had no choice, Your Honor.
She had no choice. If there's something wrong with you, that's my judgment. Goodbye.
Your Honor.
If excused, you may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
He forged my son's signature.
I'm waiting for them to finish lying to you.
He never signed an agreement.
He agreed to it.
But you signed it.
Next Judge Judy.
I don't think she deserves a dime. I shouldn't have to pay someone to neglect my children.
We do stuff with the kids every day, and I didn't neglect her kids.
I have a 4-year-old who comes home and tells me she went and took a nap. You don't take a nap when you're watching someone else's kids.
I didn't take a nap while her kid was there.
When I went to pick the children up,
she never even voiced a complaint to me about anything.
When she finally did come to the door, she tried to give me a different infant, and I said that one wasn't mine.
I've never given anyone the wrong child. The days that they were there, my kids were the only other ones there, so I have no idea what she's even talking about.
Make sure you check everything out before. Otherwise, you could end up with someone neglecting your kids.
Everyone that meets me always comes, meets my staff, looks around, and everyone's happy with it.
For COVID-related reasons, yes, you cannot evict a person.
Made to move in the middle of the virus.
What did you lose your job over?
I lose my job because of COVID.
Did a clever landlord skirt the rules?
You, as a landlord, cannot evict them. And I think that you knew that.
I didn't evict anyone. I put a pay or vacate, which is different from eviction.
I don't think that you could do that.
This is Judge Judy. Stephen Davis is suing his former tenant, Jade Packer, for unpaid rent and property damage.
Judge's case number 129 on the calendar in the matter of Davis versus Packer. Parties have been sworn in.
Mr. Davis, you have a rental property. The defendant is 1-year lease. She moved into the apartment, I assume, in December. The rent on the apartment was $999 a month. It was a basement apartment, and she paid you a $999 security deposit. Is all of that correct?
Yes. it is.
She paid rent in January of $999?
Yeah, she paid the rent, plus there is a...
Just answer my question.
Yes.
She paid in January $999.
Plus utilities.
In
yes.
February, she paid you rent of $999.
Right.
What about in March?
March was paid.
She paid you $999.
Yes.
What about in April?
April was paid.
What about in May?
May was paid.
And how many rental properties do you have?
4.
And you are aware of the prohibition against eviction for lack of payment of rent during COVID?
Yes, for COVID-related reasons, yes, you cannot evict a person.
Just a second. You are aware of the moratorium on eviction for non-payment of rent during COVID?
Right, yes.
That's a yes or a no?
Yes.
And when the defendant called you, because now she's paid up April, May, now we're into June, when she called you and told you that she lost her job, what day was that in either May or June?
That she phoned me?
Yes.
I don't have the date of when she called me. I don't have a recollection
Okay.
of that conversation.
Okay. Is what you're telling me she never called you to tell you she wasn't paying June's rent?
That's how I understand it, yes.
So she did not pay you June's rent?
Correct.
And you put a 3-day notice to quit on her door. On what date?
I told her I was going to post that on June 13th, and no, that was...
June, just a second. When you told her that you were going to post that on June 13th, did she in that conversation tell you that she had lost her job?
No, I have a text chain here that mentions nothing about a job loss.
May I see it?
Sure. So right here you can see where I've highlighted. And
just a second.
Yeah, okay.
Just a sec. Don't highlight anything for me. I can read.
All right, all right.
I need the rent. If I don't get at least half by 5 p.m. Friday, I will post a 3-day notice to vacate. That gives you 3 business days to either vacate or pay the rent in full. Now, you knew that you weren't permitted to do that.
No, that is not my understanding.
Okay, can we get together this week and make arrangements for you? But you need to get current on the rent. Either one needs to happen by the end of the month. I won't make you pay June rent if you get your stuff out by June 30th and clean the place. I won't make you pay June's rent. Well, that you're sending her in June, Mr. Davis, and my understanding is you already had June's rent or enough to cover June's rent by her security.
Well, the security deposit went to...
No. I didn't ask you what it went for. I'm talking about you're gratuitously saying to her, if you get out by June 30th, you won't have to pay June's rent. You and I both know that based upon what you wrote to her, you were keeping June's rent because she was breaking the lease, right? Because you had a year's lease with her and only 6 months were up. And you weren't going to return her security deposit to her because you didn't mention her security deposit.
Right.
So we know that.
Yes.
We know that.
Okay.
Okay. I just, I'm not a landlord. I'm a judge. I don't have rental property. But I know people who have more than one rental unit.
Right.
Understand, because I've been doing this now for 25 years.
Holy crow.
So you weren't being really nice to her by saying, as long as you leave the place neat, I won't charge you for June's rent if you're out by June 30th, because you already had her June's rent in security, which you weren't.
Well, I would have returned the security deposit.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You wouldn't have. I know you wouldn't have. You know you wouldn't have. And what you did by posting a 3-day notice to her for non-payment of rent when she had really faithfully paid her rent for the first 6 months, was the wrong thing. You know that if you took her to court to evict her, you wouldn't have been able to do that. Now I finished with him for a second because he's suing for a whole bunch of unpaid rent and property damage. So he already has your security deposit. You moved out in July.
The first week of July.
What date in July?
I don't remember the exact date. I know it was in the first week because I couldn't get a truck to move all my stuff out. So it was getting prolonged because I didn't have the money since I didn't have a job to get all my stuff out.
Where had you been working?
Northeastern Services.
Until what date were you working there?
I think June 10th.
Did you start to collect unemployment?
No.
Why not?
Because my company said that I didn't lose my job due to COVID.
What did you lose your job over?
I lose my job because of COVID. I don't know why they told him that.
So you didn't get unemployment. If you don't get unemployment, that means that you quit your job.
I didn't quit. I did leave my job, but it was for COVID reasons.
Well, explain that to me.
So
you left your job. You didn't get fired.
I didn't go in because most of our houses, and so they were getting shut down for COVID, and there was nowhere for me to go. So they were going to try to have me quarantine with the clients for over 2 weeks, and I have a 4-year-old son that I couldn't do it.
Okay, got it. Does your 4-year-old son live with you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want you to show me pictures, Mr. Davis, of what you allege the damage is that the defendant did that was in excess of her security deposit.
Okay. This is the first picture I will show you of a few. This is how the apartment was kept and how it was left.
And how it was left?
Yes.
Is that how you left the apartment, Miss Packer? Is that how you left the apartment?
No,
well,
there
where
was
would he get all that stuff from?
That must have been taken
Where would he
before
get that
I
stuff from?
started, before I actually processed the moving out. Because there was a lot of stuff in my front room, but when I left, there wasn't that much stuff left in the front room.
Well, show me a picture of what was left.
I don't have it. I just was trying to get out as fast as I can.
Why? You had notice.
I had until the 30th, and by the time I got the notice, it was because I was house sitting for my best friend. I had about 5 days.
You were house sitting for your friend where?
Downtown Salt Lake. She was in Idaho.
Let me see the other pictures, please, Mr. Davis. There?
Yes, it was. Would you like more pictures?
I'm talking about your pictures. Was all of the property in those 2 rooms that you're showing me, was all that property left there when she vacated the apartment?
Yes.
Can I see the rest, please? Did you leave the beds there?
Not the bunk bed. The bunk bed wasn't mine. The bed in my room and the bunk...
I just wanted to...
Okay, sorry.
What is that?
That's a broken sheetrock. The wall was kicked in the kitchen.
How did that happen, Miss Packer?
I was trying to sit
That's
down.
fresh. How did that...
I was trying to sit down, and I hit the wall too hard, and it broke. I didn't kick it in. I was trying to sit down, and I hit it too hard.
Let me see the next one, please. And the next. How many bedrooms are there in this basement apartment?
2.
Any other pictures you want to show me?
Sure. This shows furniture that was left outside of the apartment, which had actually been left out there for months before she moved out. I kept asking her to remove that, and it remained.
Okay, I don't care. I don't care about that. Now I'd like to see your paid bills to clean up the apartment, please, and to fix the wall.
Sure. Here is the receipt from who did the painting. It's 18 completed.
Next.
This is a paid invoice from did the cleanup and removal of leftover junk in
Okay, that's $533.
Right, with taxes, yes.
The bills that you show total $2,333. From that, I'm deducting her security deposit.
Well, there's more in
Which
bills
is
here. There's another $500 for the drywall repair, and then there's another $300.
He should have done that with the painting. Next.
Different people.
He should have done that with the painting. Okay. Next.
Okay, well,
Next.
that's the next one. Drywall. Okay, I don't have one for the carpet cleaning, so that's it for the bills.
Okay. Deducting from $2,333, $999, which you have in security deposit, leaving $1,334 for the damage that you caused and the cleanup that clearly is absolutely outrageous. Now, you didn't pay rent for June or July.
Yes.
Why?
I didn't have money. I didn't have a job. I'm starting to work, and tomorrow, actually, is when I could finally get a job.
Did you apply for rent relief?
I don't know what that is.
I don't either in your state. Is there a rent relief?
I don't know because I didn't know about eviction court. This is the first time I lived on my own. I don't really know much.
Okay.
Judge Judy.
Mr. Nichols.
Yes.
Did you cut all 4 wigs?
I trimmed them. I didn't cut.
She didn't ask for a trim. She didn't ask for anything other than, can you flat iron and curl them? No cut. Why did you cut them?
Stephen Davis says former tenant Jade Packer stopped paying rent and moved out. He also claims Jade left the apartment damaged.
Okay. Now, Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Based upon the moratorium, and I haven't seen any prior cases with regards to the eviction moratorium, it's clear to me what I know of it is that if someone no longer is able to work and it is COVID-related, you as a landlord cannot evict them. And I think that you knew that.
I didn't evict anyone.
Yes, you did, sir.
I put a pay or vacate.
You put a 3-day
eviction.
notice on. I understand that. You couldn't take it. It was impossible to take her to court, sir, because they would have thrown you out of court. You understand that. So you were relying on the tactic of saying to her, she says she's never lived on her own before, this was her first apartment, to say, if I put this up on her door, she's going to either get out or pay me. I don't think that you can do that. Simple condition, but you're not getting your rent. You're getting $1,334. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's it. We're done. Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
The defendant owes me money for rent under Utah law.
I don't know if he was able to do what he did to me or not.
I can collect the amount of rent that I lost until...
I have no idea. I just know I couldn't pay rent.
The new tenant arrived, which was in September.
And then I had to make a decision for me and my son.
This was not a COVID-related incident.
I lost my job due to COVID.
She just refused to pay.
When he took those pictures, it was before I even got in there, too, because he changed the locks on me before I could even do anything.
And I just don't think it's right for someone to leave an apartment looking like it was Beirut in 1983.
All parties in the matter of Wilson versus Nichols. Step to the podium, please.
Teray Wilson is suing salon owner Reginald Nichols for damaging her wigs when he cut them without her permission.
Miss Wilson, you purchased 4 wigs and dropped them off at the defendant's home, I assume, to style them. Had he ever styled wigs for you before?
No, actually, he was my hairdresser. He has styled my own natural hair.
So when you bought these wigs, did you contact him to see whether he worked on wigs?
For a fact, I've seen him do wigs and sew-ins and glue-ins, so I know his history of doing wigs.
Okay, and from what you saw, his services were satisfactory?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I sent her a picture of them when they were ready.
He sent me a picture, and this is what he said. He said, the divas are ready, and I said laugh out loud because he called them divas.
When for the first time did you question him about why he cut them?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Teray Wilson is suing salon owner Reginald Nichols for damaging her wigs when he cut them without her permission.
On what date did you purchase these 4 wigs?
April 29th, May 8th, and May 22nd.
Did you buy them online?
No, ma'am.
Where did you buy them?
There's a young lady in Sacramento. Her name is Tashana. She custom makes wigs out of raw Peruvian hair.
Do you have the receipt for payment for
yes,
the 4
ma'am.
wigs?
I have my bank statement because the way I pay her is through Zelle.
Okay. And how much were the 4 wigs that you purchased from her?
$375 a piece.
So they were $14.90.
Yes.
The last one that you purchased from her was off at the defendant's shop or home?
His residence, because he wasn't able to work in his shop because of the COVID.
On what date?
That was on July 17th.
Had anyone else styled the wigs before? You started buying them in April, then you bought some in May. Had anyone styled them other than the defendant?
No, just the young lady that custom made them for me. She's the only one that has touched them besides the defendant.
Had you worn them between April and the time that you dropped them off?
Each one maybe twice.
And you wore them the way they were?
Yes.
When you contacted the defendant about styling them, what did you tell him that you wanted him to do to the 4 wigs?
I do have a text message, and I call him my hair husband, so I just asked him, could he flat iron and curl? No cut, just flat iron and curl.
May I see the message? So you dropped them off?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Did you cut all 4 wigs?
I trimmed them. I didn't cut.
Well, cut, trim, you took a scissor to them?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, you're not allowed to do that. She was very specific. She said to you, hey, husband, if I bring you my... No cut, just curl. Why didn't you ask her? She didn't ask for a trim. She didn't ask for anything other than, can you flat iron and curl them? No cut. Why did you cut them? She wants her money back. She said, I wore them. I wore each of them twice. They were different. I wanted them just the way they were when I bought them. And now, because you gave them a trim, they're 4 different wigs. Why wouldn't you call her and say, you said no cut, do you want me to trim them? You communicate with her. Why would you do that?
I wasn't thinking.
Weren't thinking, okay. So not thinking is going to cost you $14.90, and she paid you $30 to cut them because she didn't see them because of COVID. She didn't come in. You just gave them to her. That's what you say. Is that right?
No, I sent her a picture.
You didn't inspect them at the time that you picked them up.
No, I did not.
Is that
I waited
not true?
till I get home.
I sent her a picture of them when they were ready, and then I showed them to her on the head when I gave them to her when she pulled up in the car.
Is that true?
He sent me a picture, and if I can put it up here.
Yes, please.
Okay. This is what he said. He said the divas are ready, and I said laugh out loud because he called them divas. So when I got to his home, he brought them outside on a mannequin head, the mannequin heads that I gave him because I didn't know if he had any at home because of the COVID and the COVID that was going on. I did not want to stay there chit-chatting with him.
Okay, don't tell me the whole story.
Okay.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
So you saw them? You saw the photographs the same day that you picked them up?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
When for the first time did you question him about why he cut them?
The same day, like 7 minutes after I got home. We lived that close to each other.
Did you text him or call him?
I text him. And I do have the
see
text
it, please?
messages here as well.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see the text messages. Did he answer you?
He did call me, and I was on the Zoom call, and I told him I was going to call him right back for my job. I called him back, no answer. I called him a few times, no answer, and then I texted him when I was at work and informed him that I needed to discuss with him the damaged wigs that were done, and he never responded to the text. So at that point, I contacted Small Claims Court and asked them, because I've never done this before, what do I do? And,
got it.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Next time, think, Mr. Nichols.
Case included, parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
The dog ingested something.
He was in great pain. It's part of a rubber ball.
Have you ever seen that before?
No.
The dog was in your care.
Judge Judy.
Well, I actually trimmed them and I flat ironed them.
I was highly upset.
One of them was curly when I got it, and when I flat ironed it, it was uneven, so I just evened it.
He did something I asked him not to do.
Because some of them were uneven, and I just wanted to freshen them up.
I cussed my husband out because he introduced me to him, and I cussed him out. I did.
She didn't say she didn't like them when I sent her the picture.
I'm done with him. I just